to another episode of Tech Niger FM, where we normally spotlight people that are doing well in the industry. And on today's edition, I have a wonderful friend of mine. We've been working from one project to another, and I value our work so much that I have to bring her on this particular show today to come and tell us one or two things about about product design, product management, and the likes. And I know she's doing some activities around AI now because that's where the world is going into. On today episode is going to be more of conversation, more of learning new things from her background, career journey, down to where she is now. And the topic that we have today is from design to product because she started from design, now she's into product. How empathy and AI are shaping the future of digital innovation. Thank you this evening for joining us, Ayobami. It's good to have
Yeah,
you on this show today.
thank you, Tunde, for inviting me. I feel honored, to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's going to be good for us to know your career journey because I know you that you started from product designer, but now you are into product management. And there, can you just tell us what shaped you from product design to product management? We just want to know about your career journey.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thanks. I think one aspect I don't know is that I was a consultant first before I moved into product design.
Oh,
So yeah, I
really?
started my career. Yeah, yeah. I spent about 3 years doing strategy
Wow.
consulting. Yeah, like one of the local firms workforce in Nigeria. And I think it was at that point that tech was becoming a big thing in Nigeria back then. And I knew personally that consulting was not for me. I knew it wasn't for me. Like I had a background, like educational background in mechanical engineering. So I knew that it wasn't for me. So somehow I kind of stumbled across like UX design, and I started doing a lot of self study, reaching out to people about how I think I like this, I really want to switch into it. And at some point in time, I took a leap of faith and I quit my job then to pursue an unpaid
Wow.
internship. And the rest is pretty much history. And I think that that's one of the best decisions that I have ever made in my entire life, because I look back on it and I don't regret it. I remember when I made that decision. I remember my father and my parents just calling me like, why are you doing this? Like, how are you doing like financial stability, for this? But I just had that like um, conviction, that I dare to do that and I did that. And yeah, it's been going well. And I've been a product designer for about 6 years, worked in a couple of companies. I started first, like, did something at Hotels of Energy, worked at Farmerline in Ghana, then InterSwitch as well, before moving down to Canada. I had worked at Viamo for a couple of years, and did something with another company in Kenya apparently. So yeah, I've been a bit, I've been to a bit different places, right, as well. Yeah, but what really prompted me to like then switch from product design to product management because a lot of people are. It feels like many people are really jumping into that, but I think naturally I always had like the love, like be very curious and really love that. I found it really fascinating how sometimes those small ideas that you're just thinking about in your bedroom just can, move on to become something very big, move on to become a product that people are using worldwide, and such product is having impact solving real problem, right? And so, because I had that fascination as well, I kind of pursued that curiosity with product design. I know with product design, it's more about answering the question of how. So, how would the users solve this
Mhm.
particular challenge with the product, right? But then I started to really get like much interested in the why and also like what. So and that's where product management really comes into place because it's product management that defines like, I mean, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? Why do we need to do this? All of those key conversations. And I think that was what really made me, not I think, that was really what really made me like move from product design to product management. Pursued my MBA in technology management at the Schulich School of Business here in Canada. And it's been a ride. It's been a ride. Like it's been an interesting ride. Not the easiest so far, but it's been interesting so far. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much. There are a couple of things that I didn't even know about that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
But I think that interswitch, I knew about that interswitch because I saw that in your profile. But the consulting, I didn't know about it at all. I wasn't even aware. But I think that side is you kept that side from us. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much for that. It was wonderful to even uh, gain the reason for you to move from product design to management. Thank you so much for that. So the I have few questions, and I also think maybe some of our audience might have few questions to ask you. But before we go into the audience, so in your background, right? When you're talking about design, right? What are the approach and strategy that you put in place if you want to when you are working on maybe a particular design? What are the strategies that you normally put in place?
Okay, if I get the question correctly, probably you're asking about like my approach and how I really like just approach
Yes,
like design problems
yes, the
generally.
approach. Yes, the
Uh,
approach to product strategy. Yeah.
because I think one of the beauty about design is that every design, like every field of design, has like fundamentally um, the same like the same fundamental framework. Do you understand? Whether it's interior design, it's product design, brand design, industrial design, whatnot, like whatsoever, right? The first is like really just understanding the users, like empathy, right? Understanding the problem you want to solve, really digging deep into the problem space. Then you then move into your solution space and ensure that whatever you're designing aligns with the user's expectation. And I think the nuances now comes in when you begin to move across each of these things. So um, how do I understand my users results much better? It might differ, like the kind of technique you use as a product designer might differ a little bit from what you use as an interior designer or a stage,
Yes.
designer, and that's where like the nuances begin to come into play. But I think personally for me, it's like I said, that same process. And at different points in time and different organizations wherever I find myself, I've had to like adapt like that fundamental process itself, right? I've worked in startups a lot. I've worked with established companies a lot, and I can tell you categorically that um, the processes, like things that you have to change, right? Differs a lot. So when you work with a startup, for example, things need to be done really quickly, right? And you might not have as much time and leeway as you would have in a bigger organization, and so you don't have that opportunity to carry out elaborate, for example, research, trying to understand the users, right? And so you need to use the quickest avenue that you're getting. So, can I speak to use surveys? Can I just speak to one or two people, or can I do some deep market research? And get my insight there and jump right into things, right? Also, in terms of like the design itself, in a startup, for example, perfection is never like the core. What's more important is like, does this work, and how is this using it? So if you're looking for very fine line, like very fine designs, sometimes it doesn't necessarily work compared to when you are in like a big company, like say when I was like in TestSwitch, for example. I would have like substantial time to do research. I would have good time,
Research.
enough time to do my to create my designs, things like that. Some of those nuances really differ, but like fundamentally, it's like having empathy, understanding the users, understanding like the problem itself, why they need it, and creating a solution that actually solves that problem. Now, I think some of the things that it's really like, I mean, I can I probably go and talk about it a lot is when you're also having empathy, like understanding your users, you also need to understand your internal stakeholders as well. And that's also, it's different across different organizations. And so while you're understanding your users, you understand your internal stakeholders, your product managers, your engineers, make sure you are having close interaction with them when you're designing. And it seems very cliche, but honestly, it's how it's supposed to be, and it is true, and it is necessary if you want to make your life like a lot better. As in, like you want to breathe easily, you want to enjoy your job as a designer. As no, so I would say yeah, that's pretty much like it's on a very fundamental level.
Yeah, thank you so much. Where you mentioned about engineers, stakeholders, something drove on my mind that you've moved from product design to product management now. While you are working with developers, especially front-end developers, then on the product design perspective, I believe there are a couple of times that you have back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But now, that's one side of it. But now you are even the product. Let's say you are the product manager now. You now have to face not just one side now, but even from the front end, from the back end, from product owner, a lot of things. How do you normally manage that kind of activities or that kind of scenarios? Should in case something happen between,
Yeah.
because you've been in the shoe, right? So how do you
Yes,
normally
yes, I get you.
manage?
I get. I mean, I think that even as a product like designer, I've been opportune to work with teams that like when you're working, for example, you're also working alongside with like I said it, the engineers are working alongside with different people, right? And then you are a product manager, and now you are a I can almost, it's almost like, I mean, the role is reversed right now, right? So, when I was a designer, I could have conversation with my product manager, like, oh, no, I don't think we should do this, I think we should do that, do you understand? And like sometimes they insist on certain things, right? And now I'm in that position. I think initially one thing that I felt was like, oh, because now that I'm a product manager, I'm not a product manager, I've had that experience of being on the other side. Maybe I should be a little
Yeah.
bit more, flexible and all of that, right? I mean, that's fine. Do you understand? But what I've also come to realize is that the product manager is juggling like 1 million things, right? And all of those things have to align to, to contribute to a certain goal. And as much as I want to be, as much as like I would be empathetic, like I would be very empathetic with my developers, with my designers, with everybody I'm working with right now. But the truth is that you are the custodian of that goal. You're the custodian of the product goal. And
Yes.
sometimes some decisions are tough to make. Sometimes some decisions may not exactly please the team, but you have to do it, in any way because you are moving towards a goal, right? And I think that that's what I've also come to learn as a product manager. And so there's a better understanding of why sometimes things, they have it like the product managers have a different understanding now. Now, in terms of how I manage like this people or a large set of people, I don't know. It's a bit different. It's like first and foremost, I think you need to really develop trust. I think trust is very fundamental when you're working in a team, right? I need to trust you as a like I need to trust you, my team members that they will do the right thing, they will do their work well, and they
Yes.
need to also trust me that I will do my work well and I will do things well. And most important is like it's we have our backs, right? When I mean having our back, it's not like oh maybe you can mess up and then I'm covering for you. No, it's like we are going in everything we do it as a team, right? We follow, we rise as a team, right? And so just building trust. And so when you build that trust in itself, it's easier to have conversations because we all know that it's not like I am trying to set you up or anything, right? We're just trying to move towards a goal. Another thing is collaboration. I know people throw around that word a lot, but good collaboration solves a lot of problems.
Lot
You
of
understand?
things.
When
Yes.
you collaborate well with your and collaboration is not just we're working in the same workspace. No. Collaboration is like we are like we're working together in sync to achieve something, right? Like I'm aware of what's going on. If you have challenges, you're like you there's enough it's psychological safety enough for you to come and say this is what I'm going through so we can solve it together. Um, I'm abreast of everything that's really going on. You know what's going on. I know what's going. You know the why behind why we're doing this. You understand what is happening. That's tight knit collaboration is key. And I feel like when there is trust and collaboration, I think it kind of just solves like a whole bunch of problems. Of course, is it going to be like smooth every time? No. You understand? We will have like back and forth, right? We'll have like our arguments, things like that. But we're human, we have different perspectives. And I think that that's also the beauty about like working in teams. And as much as we have different perspectives, just understanding that it's a perspective, it's not personal, we have a goal, and we need to do what we need to do our best to meet that goal because if we don't meet the goal, we have like the stakeholders, the management to report to. And I mean, in this climate that we're in right now, where so much job loss, there's now much pressure to really like be more productive and actually deliver easily. So yeah, I'll pretty much say it's trust and big tax like collaboration.
Yeah. So, well, while working too, I so much value collaboration because you can't do it all alone. It's not possible because you need to understand what other people are also doing, gain more experience from there, work together to achieve a common goal. Because at the end, if you fail, that means the whole team failed. So when you collaborate, it's easier for you to quickly achieve that desired goal. Thank you so much for that. I think it explains a lot of things that I'm actually looking at in terms of when you're even building a team. What are the things that you basically need to define properly in that particular team? Yeah, thank you so much for that. You've been working in Canada for a while now, and I think you're into uh, AI's stuff. So how are you basically making use of the AI to enhance? Basically, we cannot we can't replace it, but how are you making use of AI in your work related, in your creativity and the likes?
Yeah. I'm pretty much new in terms of like working in an AI company, right?
Yeah.
But so far, like the concept of AI is not new. Artificial intelligence itself is not new. I think
Yes.
what's really blown up is generative AI. And I think that it's blown up because, not that I think it's blown up because generative AI has found a way to democratize AI itself. Do you understand? Before, if you say artificial intelligence, like it was to a layman walking on the road, they don't really get it. Do you understand? I'm using tools that use AI, but I can't really explain what's going on. So I've used tools in the past where you're getting like, for example, analytics tools. For example,
Yes.
tools where you're searching for things or you're trying to map things together, especially research tools, and they use AI for that. But because generative AI has been able to democratize like artificial intelligence, so that's why it seems like oh, it's everywhere, like it's blown up. And I think it's a very beautiful thing because um I one of the major big things that, and I think it cuts across a lot of organizations, is that uh, the amount of productivity you get with AI tools is amazing. Like what they are able to
Yes.
do is amazing. Like with Gen AI, it's just amazing, right? Because right now, honestly, most companies, most organizations, right, I would feel like the only things they've been able to, the only big value we've been able to capture from AI is productivity, right? So decrease time to, there's much reduction in time to get things done. You're doing things faster. They're doing it easier, and so it frees your time off for more things. For more to take on more things, frees your brain off. Also, mundane tasks, AI can do it, right. And as much as organizations are trying to look beyond just productivity and see what else can we, how can AI also help our organization, a lot better. But I think the productivity act itself is big on its own. Like, for example, I was working on a document. I was working on a product rather. This was a personal thing recently. This past couple of weeks I've been doing that, and I told myself that okay, over the weekend I wanted to do some Excel um, details, like Excel task. And it was going to take me 3 days. I don't know, it would take me 3 days. But one day, I was sitting there and I said, wait, why are you doing 3 days? Like, wait, come, me and ChatGPT, I use the paid plan, let's talk, right? I said, okay, so I went to ChatGPT and I said, oh, so I want to do this thing. I needed to go through this entire thing. I wanted to go through a website, go through all of their products, and imagine having like 1,000 products, right? I wanted to go through their products. I wanted to get some data information. I said, and do that. When I bring that into my own data, I want to make some inferences. Trust me, it was a lot of data manipulation, analysis and manipulation. Then I went
Okay.
to ChatGPT and I'm like, okay, AI, let's do this. Let's do this. So, so let's see, within the next 30 minutes, I was done. I'm sure you are. I understood the value of it, AI, right? But when I was done, I was like, what? What? Do you understand? Another example is like I was running something and I needed an app for something, very small app, of course. And I
Okay.
can't afford to go and get a developer. What did I do? I went into Replit. You understand? I went into Replit. I went into ChatGPT. I said, look, I want to build this kind of app on Replit. Please give me a prompt that I can use. And give me a prompt and I went into Replit and I built that app. You understand? And I
Hmm.
built the small app I wanted to use. And I'm using it for whatever I want to use it for. Do you understand? So it's mind blowing what like AI can do in your work, increasing productivity, getting things done. But most important, and I think that that's what maybe what a lot of people also don't understand is that because we have these tools now at our disposal. I think it has reduced the knowledge gap in the sense that it's
Mm.
easy for me to. I'm a product manager. I'm not product manager, right? We are ChatGPT has made us almost at par in terms of knowledge. You understand? Because knowledge is available out there now with ChatGPT. You can go to ChatGPT and ask questions now. Now, so the question is,
Yeah,
how do you then differentiate yourself? It's not in using ChatGPT, but sorry, using generative AI, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever you're using. It is in how you use
yeah,
it, right? How you're prompting it, the kind of questions you are asking it, the kind of things you're getting from it to be able to deliver the kind of things that. And so, because if we both use the same tool, right, what would differentiate you and I would be our output, would be our outcome. And the thing about
that's true.
Gen AI is that it's garbage in, garbage out. You understand? It is whatever you prompt that gives you. Do you understand? And so you as a
It gives
person,
you,
if you are
yeah,
not prompting the right thing, if you're not asking the right
the right
questions, you're
command.
not digging further, what you would just be outputting would be very banal, would be very. Meanwhile, somebody else is using this same tool to do mind blowing things. Do you understand? And I think that
Yes.
that's where I stand. And for me, it's like I'm using it for productivity, to hack my productivity. Like I said, building new new tools that I need for my life, for my personal stuff. But also in terms of like, going down to what I do right now, where I currently work, is um, using AI agents. We're trying to use AI agents to foster more collaboration within people, right? Uh, like I said, getting work or making. So I work with Just Life. What we do is that we are trying to improve. How do I call it? It's like community engagement. You understand between
Okay.
within companies, within institutions. So if you're an institution, you have your alumni members, right? Just like is helping you actually keep your alumni members engaged. Without you doing so much work. You understand? So without AI agents. AI agents able to pick tracks, able to pick trends amongst like members. Okay, so who has the same shared interest? Let's link them up. What is
Okay.
going on? And the beauty is that things are also like it's evolving. You understand? It's like engagement is also evolving within the platform because the tool like AI can also like tell like okay so this is the pattern so far and this is what could happen next and things like that. Like it's kind
You
of
can
beautiful when
predict
I
it.
think about yeah predict exactly so it's kind of beautiful when I like you see that in like see it live see it happening and yeah that's pretty much how I'm like using AI so far how
Making
AI
use
is
of it.
helping me
Oh, okay.
and yeah, helping my life and my destiny, so far.
Yes. So I was also working on an idea, and at that point, even at the point I was stuck, right? So I just had to ask ChatGPT to list out some functionality that I can incorporate into the app. Then I copy those functionality, paste it inside Lovable, and wow, generated a lot of things for me. I was like, we are
It's
there.
mind blowing. See, as in, I was using a tool recently, Granola, and Granola is a meeting note taker, right? So it will help you summarize your meeting. And of course, it's not like there's nothing new about meeting like AI note
Mhm.
taker or whatever, right? But I think what I find mind blowing about Granola was that I think that after the first meeting I recorded with Granola, I saw the summary. But guess what? I could ask questions. I could ask Granola questions because I started asking, I was like, okay, and so this person said this, what was it? And it was just outputting everything for me, and I'm like, okay, okay, I'm loving this. Simple things like that. It looks simple, but honestly, it can be mind blowing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's the end goal is actually productivity because even at my own workplace, we have ChatGPT subscription, a lot of things that you can basically use just to make your work much faster. And also you it's not about copying codes here and there, but basically you also need to understand whatever, because like you mentioned, it's what you put inside that is going to give to you back. So if you paste in rubbish, then you receive rubbish back. So it's basically how to use it to gather a lot of things that you want. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. So from your own perspective, what key will define the next generation of product managers in this AI world?
I don't know if I'm equipped enough to answer that, but I would share my own like opinion.
Yeah,
you
from
know,
your own perspective, yes.
so I think that product managers, they do a lot. They manage a lot of things. You're working with like marketing, engineering, design, management, cyber security,
Yeah.
that. And I think now more than ever, right? It's like I think AI is supposed to help reduce the job because you're supposed to almost be not an expert, but know something about all of these things. Do you understand? And this is where I think that Gen AI really helps out a lot, right? Because now you can really like AI helps out like right now you can get much done, be much more productive, and get more quality work done with these tools if you're able to use them very well, right? Now, I don't think that as product managers, we should become machine learning engineers. No, do you understand? That's not like, I don't think that. So when people say you have to develop new skills, honestly, I've asked myself, so what, am I supposed to be a machine learning? Am I supposed to go and learn Python to start, you know?
Do you want to
you
be
know,
training data?
I
Do you want to be learning machine?
because I honestly had to ask one of my, I mean, when I was in school, I had to ask one of my professors who was also a CTO in a big company here in Canada. Like, I had to ask her, people keep saying like this skill thing, like, what exactly, like, what skills am I looking to learn? Because that's the only thing that comes to mind. But now, like, over time, I've not, my understanding and my own opinion is that it is not in learning all this, like, the technical stuff, but it is in learning how, I think, number one, coming to an understanding that AI is here to help you be better. You understand? Secondly, is like learn more, be more like have more technical understanding of how it works, the fundamentals of how it works, right? Thirdly is learning how to like use it to help you get work done. You understand? You need to use like so I think that I don't know whether there is a war right maybe right now, right? There's a fear of like AI will take the job. But I think that AI and like machine human like intelligence and machine intelligence are supposed to work hand in hand to get the best of work done. That's my own opinion, right? And so, as a product manager, the question is that how do I work hand in hand with this machine intelligence to get my best work done? To be able to deliver on time, to be able to increase productivity of my team, to be able to get more predictive about how we're solving our problem, be more, what's that word? To be less, to be more proactive, right? How do I use this tool to be more
Okay.
proactive? How do I, those kind of skills, critical reasoning, those are the kind of skills you need to also start to really deep, like, improve more, you understand? How do I work with this tool to get my work done? And it is in that, right, that you're able to like become much better. And I would say that those are the kind of skills you need to really start developing. Like you really need to, like PMs really need to develop much more critical reasoning, much more strategic reasoning, technical abilities, and just skills to be able to do much better work in collaboration with this machine intelligence because AI is here to stay, and there is absolutely, and I mean
Yes.
absolutely nothing, that we can do about this. There's really nothing that we can do about this. So yeah, we need to um, grow up some of those skills. System thinking, empathy, tech literacy. Those are amazing things that a lot of people a lot of people don't have. You understand? And so we need to start to develop that and be less and let a machine do the mundane jobs, like the
Yeah.
tactical things. And I think that's my opinion. That's where I stand for now. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. You've worked in Nigeria. You're currently working in Canada now. I know we have culture differences, but how are you able to quickly navigate your way around it? Because I know few of my friends too in Canada, and and I know before they could uh, settle, right? It's not a day job because of the culture. So how are you able to quickly adapt based on culture, regional context around product? Because the way we design products in Nigeria might totally be different from the way they do things in Canada. I've not been there before, but how are you able to quickly adjust yourself in that regard?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I said, if you remember, I said initially that, like, I think that when you think about product as a whole, like the fundamentals are still the same across like continents and all of that. Now, in terms of like diversity, in terms of like cultural context, right, where that plays into is in things like I mean, would be in things around understanding your users. Do you understand? And so what happens is that if you move locations and you're beginning to design for a completely different kind of people, what you want to do is put all your what you already know before aside, right? Um,
Okay.
and actually like get to know the people you're designing for. Do you understand? And people throw around the word empathy. And like I said, empathy is key. But empathy is not
Yes.
putting yourself in other people's shoes. It's never because I don't think you can ever be in people's shoes. Like you can never be able to wear people's shoes. Like I don't think so. Because for example, if I was designing an application for a blind person, I can never be blind. It's like I can't so except I am blind, I can't put myself in that person's shoes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So and I think that when people say put yourself in my people's shoes, it gives them that leeway to now sit down and start to decide things for the users because they say, okay, so I could just like, so if I was the user, what would happen? Do you understand? That's why some people tend to do that, right? But what empathy really means is like understanding your user, understanding their problems, what they want to do, their behaviors, what motivates them, with in relations to your product. And the best way is really honestly talking to them, speaking to them, do some market research around them. Right now, in a different cultural context, like somewhere in Canada, and one of the interesting things about Canada is that you have multiple cultures here. You understand? So it's not just like
Mm.
the
Yeah.
Inuit. It's like you're saying like you're working with like Indians, you're working with like African, working with Nigerians, Ghanaians. There's so many people working with Asians, right? And this is like so it's like multiple people in one room. In my elevator, for example, we don't have the number 4, we don't have the number 14, we don't have fourth floor, we don't have 14th floor. You will never sit in the elevator. Why? Because Asians, for them, 4 doesn't signify something negative. And so you would not see that kind of journey. I did not know that until I got here. I think I was I was just wondering that where's the fourth number 4 button? Do you understand? And so you just need to be more, I think it's being more aware of it, right? Getting more aware, understanding that there is a cultural difference. And so you need to be more aware of it. And also make efforts to learn about that. So if your users are specific set of people, know more about them, learn more about them, right? How they do, how they use your product, at the end of the day, it's just learning more about your users. It's like you need to dig deep, and that's it. That's pretty much. There's no magic ball or magic solution to that, right? Now with AI, what AI does is like there are now tools out there that makes like um, customer discovery, a lot much better,
Mm.
faster, and much scalable across the organization. So if you use tools like Dovetail, you understand, those are amazing tools, right? In fact, I've heard of tools where like they would conduct interview on your behalf. As a PM, you don't have to be in the
Wow.
interview. They will conduct, but I don't do that because I really want to have some one-on-one with my users. But I can imagine where that could be useful. Maybe you have like tons of people. I mean, you could use that kind of tool to get like very big, like mass information or data from a large pool of users, right? And then try to find patterns around it. But if I'm doing like conversations with like maybe 5, 10 people, I just do my one-on-one. Rather, I don't think I don't know whether I trust AI yet to. It's not like I don't trust it yet, but I prefer. My preference is to have that personal conversation with my users, right? And so it's just empathy, and I think it goes along with every aspect of life. Just empathy, having understanding that people are different, things are different, and making efforts to really learn the differences as it concerns you, for example, in a work settings, as it concerns your product, and then applying that learning, and I think that's pretty much. So I used to work at Viamo, and at Viamo we were working on a product where like we had presence across like 30 countries. You understand?
Wow.
30 different
That's
countries
huge.
in Africa, in what they call all these places across the continent, different continents, right? And that was our
Okay.
biggest problem, biggest like understanding these diverse customers, what they want. For example, pricing would be if you want to price a product for people in Nigeria, because we also have prices in Nigeria or in Africa. If you want to price for companies in Africa, it's completely different from the way you price for companies in maybe in US or in Europe, right? Because we are not going to come and be giving how would I call it? Nigeria is like maybe a $50,000, something, or you need to be very price sensitive. Like we're
Okay.
quite price sensitive and all. So those are kind of nuances you need to understand. And so they got like a couple of people across these individual countries to help to deepen our understanding of each country. So if I wanted to design something,
All things.
I could speak to different people across the organization that from these different countries. Because how does it work here? How does it work there? What are the nuances? What are things I need to understand? And that was one of the ways we were tackling that kind of thing. So yeah, empathy is key.
Yeah, so you just have to gather enough information before even going into it so that you know what you're actually building for this particular people. That's good one. That's good one.
Yeah.
I think we are running our time is fast spent. Okay. I have two more things to basically ask. I know that there was a time you set up like a company or something for something studio. I didn't remember the name again.
Mod
um
Studio.
but yeah, most studio, yeah. So are you open to mentorship? Because I have some people that are reaching out to me that should, in case they want to go into tech, what are the things that they can basically learn here and there. And I have some that we just come straight. I want to go into product design, product management, and the likes. Is there are you open to mentorship? Is this something that you've been doing before, or is something that you are open to, should in case I have one or two people that I can recommend to you?
Yes, I mean, I've been doing a lot of mentorship, and a lot of times my mentorship is mostly very more like hands-on. You understand? Where, for example, I could have like projects with clients, and I'm like, okay, you know what, you want to learn? Oh my God, let's do this thing together, and it's been very helpful. Right now, I am open, maybe to a limited number, maybe just one for now, because I have a couple of things going on. I'm trying to start up a couple, like my, maybe not start, like just go live with my um, current company. What is surprisingly gift experienced gifted brand. So we're trying to go
Okay.
live. So it's been a lot of work in like so much work and things going on right now. And I'm open to mentorship. Maybe right now just one. Maybe from next year I can do a lot more than that. But yeah, of course, why not? It's nice to always talk to people, guide people, and there's so much beauty in just like when I see people that I've had opportunity to mentor and what they're doing out there, like in the industry, like it's amazing. It's really amazing. You're like, oh wow, okay, I love that. So yeah, definitely open to it.
Thank you so much. Before we go, I want you to give like last advice to people that want to go into product design or product management regarding AI, empathy, and the likes. If you can just give like a piece of an advice to people coming out there to come and go into product design, product management, if there's something that you can just give as an advice before we round up.
I don't know. I think what comes to mind is do the hard stuff. You understand? Do the hard stuff, right? Um, don't do things on a very mediocre level because it's an easy way out. You're trying to take the easy way out. Do you understand?
Okay.
Really getting deep, do hard stuff. If you want to learn about maybe something, dig deep, read books, learn a lot, right? Don't just, I mean, it's okay to want to jump to a career for money. That's all right. There's nothing wrong there. I don't have a problem with it. But I think that right now, because of AI, it has placed everybody at a level, almost everybody at a level playing field. Do you understand? So differentiating yourself is a lot harder right now. And so, except you do the hard stuff, you understand. For example, you are trying to be a product manager or maybe you're a product designer, and you are like as a product manager, you don't want to learn much about like how like artificial like AI works. You don't want to learn about prompt engineering. You don't want to use start work using no code tools, use no code AI tools to develop things, to test, to do A/B testing, doing all of those hard stuff. You know, it's very hard to go far, right? But when you do the hard thing, just know that you at least differentiated yourself from more than half of the people within that
Mm,
industry, within that work. So my advice would be do the hard things. And also do not be afraid to like just start afresh. If you think that, oh, I'm already in this path and I think that starting a product, I'm worried about starting afresh. Just start. I mean, in the next 2, 3 years, you become better at what you're doing, And I think for me, those are the two things that really comes to mind now. I'm not a motivational speaker, but I feel like those are the two things I really believe so much. Doing the hard things, it will differentiate you from people. A lot.
Thank you so much to our listeners or then all over the world, uh, like you've listened, right? Do the art thing. Um, I also so much believe that even though we have AI to help us, we should not fully rely on it because when you rely on something and at the point it fails you, that is when you know that you need to actually do the art stuff like Ayabami mentioned. Thank you so much for today, Ayobami. I really appreciate your time. It's not
You're
easy
welcome.
to to hold someone like you, even though we're still not on the same time zone. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
You're
your
welcome.
time.
You're
Um,
welcome.
is great to connect again one more time. To our listener there, thank you for joining us today on this episode of Tech Niger FM. Like I do say, keep building, keep innovating. I so much believe that in the next few years, we also hear from you. Thank you, Ayobami. Thank you, Ayobami.
Thank you, Tunde, for
Uh,
having me. I appreciate it.
it's good one to have all of you to join us today. Thank you so much. And I believe we still connect next week on another exciting episode. Stay awesome, please. And bye for now.
Bye, everyone.